So I've ridden this bike maybe about 5 times now, a couple hundred miles. Just did my second fill up. Kind of want to do a little owner review, I guess first impressions review. I don't feel that I have enough experience with the bike to do a full review, but I just want to do my first impressions and what I think about the bike and all that jazz. So first impressions of my dream bike. This is a 2010 BMW S1000. I've always wanted one ever since they came out, ever since I saw it in the magazines, ever since I saw one. I thought they were beautiful, not just because they have a ton of horsepower. That is nice, I do love that. They were the king for a while. But the whole package I'm really impressed with. I've always lusted after the S1000. Finally I had a chance to get this one. It's a 2010, has 14,500 miles and change on it. Definitely bought it used. Had it for a couple of months now, put a couple hundred miles on it. I'm really only, I think, on my second tank of fuel, maybe third. I don't know, this thing drinks gas like it's a fucking drunkard. The first impression I got of the bike, other than being fucking gorgeous, when I went to check it out before I thought I was even gonna buy it, I lifted it off the stand because the guy I bought it from was super nice. He let me ride it and test ride it before I put some money down on it. So thank you, that was super awesome. Anyway, when I went to pick it up off the stand, I almost, not really, but it felt like I could have thrown it over on the other side had I not been holding on to it. It's so light. I'm used to the RC. You know, if you're coming from a 600, you may not think that, but coming from the RC51, which is a 1000cc V-twin Honda, that thing is heavy coming off the kickstand. So I was kind of expecting that, kind of got myself ready and boom, picked it up, and it was so light. Got on it, so skinny. For 1,000, it's, especially in inline, it's a really thin bike, very comfortable. Seating position, super comfortable. I just put the tank pads on it, and I like them a lot. They, my gear just kind of grips against it, so I don't really have to work too hard, especially in the right body position. It's not too bad on my arms. I know my 05R1, I felt like I was stretched out on a limo on that thing, and I would definitely get fatigued. Seat, super awesome, very comfortable, coming from the RC51 seat, which is a terrible seat. I would love to change it. I slide around on that seat. It pinches my legs, it like my thighs, inner thighs. Very uncomfortable seat. This seat is grippy, the material is fantastic, the angle's really nice. I don't feel like, you know, I'm being moved anywhere. I feel like I'm very, very solid, very a part of the bike. The tank is a really good position. It's, you know, just cruising around, you really do have to kind of lift your legs up pretty high to be in a proper-ish position, but on the track, I feel like it would be great, because, you know, it's really not that much of a difference when I'm on the street. Clip-ons, really good angle, not hard on my wrists. I feel like this is a sport bike that I could go some miles on, which is awesome. I would really like to do some touring. Like, not that I probably ever will be able to, but I'd like to. You can always dream, right? It's my dream bike, hey. Suspension feels very stiff to me. I'm probably right around the weight that I think an OEM S1000 is valved and sprung to and all that good stuff. I think it's like, what, around 175 pounds with gear. I'm a little under that, but not by much. Ooh, must be a motorcycle. Yay! Oh look, a goat's following me. Funny. Anyway. So I feel like I could cruise on this thing. Oh yeah, suspension, that's what I was talking about. The suspension's really stiff. I'm about to, if it's still in OEM specs. The previous owner owner was a little heavier than I am, so I don't know if he adjusted it or not, but in the end, it does feel pretty stiff. It does feel sure-footed, even when I go over bumps and everything. So I think it really, the suspension, even the stock suspension, has a lot of potential. Brakes, phenomenal. No bike I've ever had has brakes this good. The RC's brakes are really lacking. It probably could use some pads and a rotor refresh. But these brakes, oh, it's so dirty. Why do you treat your goat like that? Really great brakes. I haven't had a chance, fortunately, to use the ABS. So that's a good thing, I would say. It's comforting that it is there. I know I'm not perfect. A lot of people don't like ABS because it's a lot of electronic shit. But I'm not perfect. If there's something extra to save me in the event of braking heavily, I'm all for it. Same with the traction control. I usually don't grab a fistful of throttle, so I don't think I've really ever engaged the traction control. I am in race mode, and that's the only mode I've ever been in since I got the bike. And I felt it kick in, like if I go over bumps under acceleration, but under just normal acceleration, nah, I haven't really pushed it that much. And the big thing, speaking of traction control, that everybody thinks of with the S1000 is the power. This engine is a fucking beast. Like, but my 05 R1 and my 09, they were powerful bikes, but nothing like this thing's top end. It feels like it wants to pull your arms up, and I really haven't even really gone for it. Like I said, I just drive on commuting for now, and haven't really had a chance to open it up because I don't want to get over a buck and be pulled over, since I'm always on heavily populated roads anyway. So insane amount of top end power, but down low, it really doesn't have a lot. It doesn't have a lot of torque down low. So if you're going and you're not in, you know, up in the power band, it's kind of gonna lug a little bit. Now this does have aftermarket Ergonomics exhaust, so it doesn't have any of the valves or anything in it that help the download torque. And it does have the OEM gearing as far as I know. So I would like to bump that up a little bit, give it a little more torque down low. I'm not going to use it all up top. I don't need, you know, I don't need to go freaking 180 miles an hour. I would like the power to be there on demand though. More kind of like, I'm used to the V-twin power of the RC. It's got torque down low and it kind of peters out up top, but I'm not out top as much because I don't race or do anything that fun very often. I really do like the asymmetrical look. I love the gills and the oddly shaped headlights. I think it's really endearing, and everybody knows what it is. They don't say, oh, is that a Kawasaki? Is that a Suzuki? No, they know it's a BMW, or at least something that's not a Kawasaki or Suzuki or Honda. I haven't really ridden it in a lot of heat. It's been mostly, well, it's been winter and now it's just starting to warm up now. I'm getting to like maybe the 80s so far. But the chassis and the heat coming off the engine, and when the fans kick on, it is warm on my legs. I pretty much always wear, you know, full gear, textile or leathers. And it's a little hot, but it's your average sport bike, I would say, as far as heat wise. R1s were notoriously bad. The thing would almost burn my legs, even with gear on. So I haven't tested it in the heavy Texas summer heat. I'm sure it will be hot as hell, but I don't think it's going to be anything as bad as an R1. The gauges, really nice. I really like how the fit and finish of the gauges. They're easy to read. Oh look, I just rolled over onto 14,600 miles even. Coolio. The fairings are all put on with Torx, so the star head bolts. A lot of people kind of think that's dumb. I don't mind it. Just buy some Torx, you know, specific BMW tool set. Once you buy that, it's really easy. I think the fairings actually come off really easy on this bike. It's not like a kooky, weird, exotic, you know, bike. I think it's like really simple, at least for what fairing pieces I've taken off so far. Quick shifter's cool. I'm not sure how confident I am in it. It has had a couple false neutrals. So somebody even asked me that, why do you shift? I don't know. I feel safer doing it myself. I'm old school. I bet, you know, I've never really had a bike with as much electronics as this one. I'm part of the Shift Your Own Damn Gears crew. So if you're looking into buying a BMW, this is the first iteration of them. Some of the 2010s, and I'm going to be going off of knowledge I found on the internet. You know how that goes. But as far as I know, some of the 2010s did have what's called soft cams. And you'd know if it was, you know, I think what people were saying, over 5,000 miles, over 7,000 miles, if it had the problem or not. So if you're looking for a used one, watch out for that. The 2012s, they had the recall. Some of the early ones had the, what is it called? The Conrod bolt recall, where BMW just wanted to be safe. They had some, I think, early issues with some race teams, that the connecting rod bolts were coming loose, so they took all that series of bikes and had them all recalled at the dealership. So most likely the owner did have it done. That's just one thing to be mindful of. It was should have been done by a BMW service technician under warranty and all that good stuff. As far as other problems, I have heard of the wheel bearing problem. Also, I mentioned that they do, you know, it's BMW, so they may have some electrical problems. That I'm not as, you know, well versed on. You may just, you know, search on the forums of common BMW problems if you are searching for them. Try not to let it scare you away, because a lot of people are going to be on forums complaining and needing help. There's not going to be as many people saying, oh man, I love my bike, it has no problems, you know, this and that. Usually people ask for help when they have problems, not when they're perfectly happy with something. So just keep that in perspective. It's actually a really nice day if I can just keep moving and keep out of traffic. Shit. And you got the head turning factor. I have a lot of people staring, looking back, taking pictures of it and sitting, asking me questions about it. It's definitely not your average sport bike. So you will get a lot of attention, which it's kind of nice. I guess it kind of strokes your ego a little bit. So I guess I would say that's an added bonus. I'm not really going out looking for that, but it's kind of cool when somebody thinks your pride and joy is cool.